Howdy, welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show. There's a pair of Gregs.
Oh, somebody forgot to plug in his hairpiece.
Well.
Look at that. Watch this,
Amateur.
guys. This is amateur stuff.
Amateur
I went to
hour.
go get a pen, and then I forgot to, because Pickle signaled to me that it was 10 seconds away, and I was like, well, that's strange. There's no sound.
There was sound the whole time.
Was there?
Yep. Powers can confirm.
It was about to be one Greg.
Well, many might argue that would be an upgrade. Hello, everybody. For the first time at this desk, look at us.
It's Crootin.
It is Crootin. It's Crootin Day. And this, I will tell you, 99% of the time, Pickle is very happy that she has her own palace. She has her own booth over there.
This is the one
This
time.
is the 1%.
She wishes she was.
Oh,
Yeah.
she wishes she was, I mean, welcome to Thunderdome, baby. Like, this is...
If you could have only been a fly on the wall of the old studio and we had our off microphone conversations while the commercial was playing.
Absolutely.
So
Instead,
many good bits.
can't happen anymore because somebody had to have her own room.
I mean,
She does look very official in there, though.
yeah,
Yeah.
thank you. Also, like, 4 days out of 5 when Grev's not here, it's worth it.
Yeah, but not always because it's one of those days. This is really the Dudes Rock studio, like today.
Tomorrow, it's the Chick Rock studio.
Oh, WTF tomorrow? That's right.
Yeah, but you guys are well experienced in here now. What is this going to be your fourth show in the studio now?
WTF?
Yeah.
No.
Third?
Third
Yeah,
third show in the studio. This is the first This Week in Recruiting, though. That's why
we'll
we're
have our
excited to
first
have
guest on.
it. Ooh.
Yeah, we have a representative from Kinder Scott on tomorrow.
Ooh, that's
So pumped
exciting.
up. Yeah, very excited.
I have a question for you guys.
Okay,
Powers, you have a big sexy truck.
Okay.
correct.
Thank you. Thank you. Fact check true.
It's a truck.
It's a big sexy truck. Pickle, you grew up in Llano, so you've been around big sexy trucks.
Correct.
I've never had a big sexy truck. That's not my
That's
style.
not surprising.
Not my thing. Have you seen in the wild any of these cyber trucks?
Yes, there's so many of them. I saw so many of them this weekend.
There has never, this is a positioning statement, there has never been a funnier car. It's the funniest car I've ever.
It's the future, man.
I
You're going to be driving a Cybertruck one
cannot
day.
stop. Every time I see one, I just laugh. It is. If you have a Cybertruck, like, God love you, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. If that's your thing, every time I see one, it's the new Mini Cooper. Like, I thought the Mini Cooper was.
It's massive and small all at the same time somehow. It looks massive, but it also looks small.
I saw an 18-wheeler like that carries vehicles. You know, like there's like the 6 and they're slanted. It was all full of Cybertrucks. It's an invasion.
Have you seen the news though about what's going on now?
No.
Is that like apparently you cannot put it through a car wash?
Oh, really? Because it's too wide?
No, the width is not the issue. The issue is that there are certain sensors on it that it'll
It locks up.
brick. Like you'll brick your car.
So how do you have to hand wash it?
It
and
has
avoid
like
the
it
sensors?
has like a car wash mode
Oh,
that you have to put it into, which like turns off a bunch of the sensors.
So okay, what happens when it rains?
What an awesome question, Pickle.
Because legitimately, there's rain underneath the car because the roads are wet.
Mm-hmm.
There's rain on the side of the car.
I don't get it, but like I'm not smart enough to understand it. Certainly, I'm not smart enough to understand it. I'm not rich enough to own one. But I've seen like 10 of them in the last couple of weeks, and it is among the most shocking things you'll see on the road.
Have you seen one wrapped yet?
No.
I saw one wrapped, and it was
Wrapped?
Yeah, it was wrapped. It was wrapped in all.
Like we have like the swag wagon where it's like
Yeah.
it says Dave Campbell's all over it.
But it was wrapped in all black, so it was like blacked out, completely wrapped. And I was next to it at the stoplight, but it took off. Dude, those things are fast.
Oh yeah, the acceleration is insane.
It just left me sitting at the stoplight. It just went.
In any Tesla, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's just, I'm sure I'll get used to it, much in the same way that like the first time we saw like Hummers on the road.
Dude, the new Hummer though is sweet.
Powers is big Hummer guy.
I've not seen the new Hummer.
The new all-electric Hummer is awesome.
All electric
They
Hummer.
made-
What
Wow.
what strides we have made.
What a
0 to 60 in 1.8 seconds.
an electric Hummer.
Yeah, and it crab walks. You can like walk it into a parallel parking spot. Like you don't have to back it up. You just pull up next to it and just walk it in.
This is wild.
An electric Hummer feels like slapping God in the face.
They had it at the fair this year, so I went and looked at it. I mean, for the price tag, you
Oh.
probably want more, like more space and all that kind of stuff, but it's still cool.
Okay.
Crab walking.
Crab walking cars.
All right.
Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all. From the brand new Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show with a desk. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football on TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, any of those places, or you'll listen to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. We don't tell you what podcast vendor to listen to. Whatever you're doing, thank you for doing your part to support the little internet show that could. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks, Miss 305. We call her Gizmo. She's Ashley Pickle.
Hi, friends.
Right now, Gizmo on my Gizmo.
I forgot about that. I need to tell Mallory that she's Gadget.
And sitting to my right,
Grab.
for the first time, I mean, you've been in the studio.
Well,
We did a show. We had Emily
Yeah.
Hawkins come in. You were on the show. But as far as True sitting at the desk with me, he's the director of recruiting for Dave Campbell's Texas Football, Greg Powers.
what's up, y'all?
Welcome in.
Yeah, it feels a little different saying like "What's up, y'all" when we're at the desk together instead of like across the table.
I know. Yeah, this is weird. Like you and I are like turning and looking at each other. Like
I'm
we're
gonna
like,
say "What's up, y'all," which is really to Ashley.
That's
Yeah,
fair.
that's-
You can also look at the camera and say it at any point in
Hey.
time. That's the
just
y'all.
buzz the
That's-
camera.
It's the royal y'all.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be honest. I
the
don't know
royal y'all.
I guess
What
the
a great
small
turn of
cameras
phrase,
are-
Pickle.
are
Exceptional
one.
stuff.
I guess the small cameras are big shot, and the big cameras you're one shot. Is that
Yes.
true?
You're figuring
Little
it out.
bit
That is
behind
true.
the
You
scenes.
figure it out.
That is true.
That's right.
Correct.
Today is Wednesday, April 24th, because you're here.
You had to know it was Wednesday.
April 24th, 2024. It is 218 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Chipper Jones. It's episode 1761. Chipper Jones is probably not necessarily loved in Cincinnati.
I don't like Chipper Jones that much,
He-
honestly.
He probably dominated the Reds.
Shout out to Gabe Brooks, who does.
Who does? It's episode 1762, right?
Yep.
1762. I even wrote it down wrong. On today's show, folks, it's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football, talking all things recruiting across the Lone Star State. And then back out the show, Powers caught up with one of the, can I call him one of the fastest people in Texas?
He's pretty fast.
Yeah. Tradarian Ball, the running back at Texas High, you caught up with him.
Yep, 2026 running back. He's a true phenom. He's already got 35 plus scholarship offers.
Was he 16?
I just quit counting them.
He's 16 years old. He's
Yeah.
got 30-something offers. Anyway, we'll hear from him coming up here at the back half of the program. If you stay along with us on the Jamboree, do we have first four through the door, Gizmo?
We sure do. It was TJ Hudson, jersey number 69,
Nice.
Daniel Agnew, and Lyle Good. Welcome in, fellas.
Welcome in, friends. We do appreciate you spending a little bit of your day with us. Powers, I've been excited about this,
I don't know what to think. Like, is it going to blow everybody's eardrums out, or?
Possibly.
but that's her problem. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. This is This Week in Crootin. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. See his fine work at texasfootball.com/recruiting. And of course, this is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express, they like the new intro. I presume. I haven't asked Chicken Express.
I need like Chicken Express now. We need it on the TV, but like
we can make
actual meal. Like I just want to be able to have the chicken.
Just tendies. Nothing but
I love the
tendies
idea
right
of like
behind you.
I love the idea of like our friends at Chicken Express like paying for like brand recognition, and we're just like, nah, we just got tendies and mashed potatoes up here.
I'll take a picture of my next Chicken Express tendy meal.
That's
and that
honestly
could be like the shot that we have.
I really just want a picture of Powers with a tendy.
I love that bit.
That's what I want.
Yeah,
I want just use the picture where I'm so happy standing in line.
Yes.
After the state 7-on-7, that'd be the perfect Chicken Express.
That's
photo
what we
right
need.
there.
We need like that needs to be our new bit. Is like each week, one of us needs to take a picture of our meal or us with our meal, and that can be up on the screen.
Do you think there's a week that goes by that somebody in this office doesn't, like at least every week somebody in the office probably eats chicken? I bet there hasn't been a week.
I bet I'm gonna be a jerk. No, like the week of Christmas, but like even then, I bet somebody.
I would say like you could say Thanksgiving, but then last year I bought all those rolls.
You did the
for
rolls for
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving because some people are afraid to be the best. Not Greg Powers. It's This Week in Recruiting. Let's get to our prospect on the rise. Our prospect on the rise. We're going to Palestine to talk about. This is going to be really like I think unnerving for people. But Palestine has a star running back.
Wow.
First time ever, in my opinion. John Denman has the newest DCTF 3-star prospect. He now has a bunch of offers from around the state of Texas, including Baylor, Houston, SMU, UTSA, and a few out-of-state ones. But this is a guy that you are watching very, very closely.
Definitely. He's a guy that's on the rise throughout the course of the off-season, but he's a very talented three-sport athlete there. He runs a 100-meter dash in the 10.7, 10.8 range, so his athleticism is apparent. He's a really good pass catcher out of the backfield, which I really like. He's kind of like an all-purpose back, but he's really bricked up and built like a traditional running back, which I like a whole lot as well. He'll flip over and play some defense, outside linebacker, safety, move him around, so that just kind of speaks further to his athletic upside overall. I think Denman is a guy who we'll continue to hear more about, but he's got a good offer list now, and I think he's well deserving of that 3-star ranking that he got this week.
He is a name to know out there, and of course, we are joking. Adrian Peterson went to Palestine too. So, like, save your comments. We know. Yeah. We're aware. Like, sorry. Let's roll on to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, going to Houston. Okay. Talk about their Bridgeland's offensive tackle, Jonte Newman, and he has committed this week to Texas A&M. It's a nice win for Mike Elko and company. This is a guy who had offers from Texas, from Alabama, from Oklahoma, but he chooses to take his talents to College Station. It's a nice get here for the Aggies.
No doubt, and what I really like about Newman is that he has really improved his pass protection technique throughout his years at Bridgeland. I think that he emerged on the scene and kind of started picking up all those offers because he was such a mauler in the run game. But he has true left tackle potential, but he could also slide over and easily play right tackle. He could move inside and play guard. He's very versatile in that regard. That's what I think really stands out about his game. And kind of to circle up on Texas A&M's recruiting efforts here as of late, this is their third offensive line commit in just over, maybe just under 2 weeks, because they also added a commitment from Denton Ryan, offensive lineman Marcus Garcia, and Prosper offensive lineman Connor Carty. So that Texas A&M O-line class underneath the direction of Mike Elko is looking pretty sweet. And Newman actually had an official visit set up with Texas. So I could say that like this is a shot fired in a little bit of the the rivalry between Texas and Texas A&M, which is I think going to become more apparent as both of these teams are now playing in the SEC. It's a lot of fun for like a recruiting guy to kind of follow some of those storylines, especially at DCTF where we're focused on the Lone Star State. So any Texas A&M recruiting battles are really fun to track. So put a feather in the cap of Mike Elko and his staff for being able to pick up the big time 4-star out of Cypress Bridge.
And it's another win for what has been a nice pipeline for A&M to not just Bridgeland, but Cy-Fair ISD as a whole. They've had a lot of success in kind of in the Cypress area pulling some of the great talent out of there. So, I mean, obviously, quarterback Connor Wigman from Bridgeland as well. They've had a good track record of going to that part of Houston and bringing guys.
What an offensive line there at Cypress Bridgeland, because you got Ryan Faudier on the right side and you got Jonte Newman on the left side. And stay tuned to DCTF, because there's an offensive lineman there that not too many people know about yet with strong Texas ties. His dad played at Texas, so that's a little bit of a sneak preview of what's to come here in the future at DCTF.
We call lateral tees. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, our Director of Recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Here on Texas Football Today, get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Let's roll on to our underclassman of the week. Our underclassman of the week is Denton Geyer, sophomore.
He's a freshman.
I mean, technically right now he's still taking freshman classes.
Yeah.
He's defensive end tight end Zane Rowe. This is a guy that we have had our eye on basically out of the womb, it seems like. And he, as a rising sophomore, has not played a game yet as a sophomore, committed to Oklahoma. An early commit for the Sooners over places like, by the way, it's not like Oklahoma was his first offer. Right. He offers from Georgia and Texas as well. But Zane Rowe commits to the Sooners here in what is a really nice get for them in the early going.
Yeah, he was up in Norman I think they had their spring game this weekend. I was out, a little personal fun this weekend, so I didn't pay attention to the spring games that were going on for the first time. I think OU, Texas, and Texas A&M all had their spring game on the same weekend. Well, it paid dividends for OU as they were able to entice Zane Rowe onto their commitment list. He's going to be one of the top players in the country. You're going to know everything about Zane Rowe by the time he signs a letter of intent, and we've had a lot of coverage here at DCTF on him as well. To expand on his commitment a little bit, I think that he could probably realistically play on either side of the football. I think that his upside is higher on the defensive side of the ball as he matures and really gets that mean streak for playing defense as he gets older and more comfortable on defense. I think that might be his true calling card, but he's really good at tight end as well, especially in the camp setting where we've been able to watch him so many times use his long arms to pluck the ball naturally out of the air. I just like that athleticism on the defensive side of the ball. For me, at least a little bit better. We'll see how he develops and matures within the next 3 years. It's weird to say that now that he's already committed. Over the next 3 years in the Denton Geyer program. And Geyer's got a little bit of an OU feel right now because you got Jackson Arnold, Peyton Bowen, Eli Bowen, and now Kevin Sperry, who transferred back to Texas from Carl Albert, who's committed to OU, and Zane Rowe. That's 5 Denton Geyer guys I could think of off the top of my head who will be Sooners in now or in the near future.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be big doings there as Zane Rowe, a name to know for the next 3 years, commits to Oklahoma. Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week is Columbus quarterback Adam Schobel. One of the top quarterbacks in the class of 2025. A longtime Baylor commit, a Baylor commit no longer. He has flipped his commitment from Baylor to Oklahoma State. There's two sides to this. There's a really nice get here for Oklahoma State to pick up what feels like their class-making quarterback. And also, boy, this is a punch in the gut for Baylor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I'll start on the positive side at Oklahoma State. I think that he fits into that offensive scheme perfectly. He's, 6'4.5", 6'5", 185 pounds. He's a gunslinger. And what I really like about his game is that he's progressed and gotten better year over year. His dad is the coach there, the head coach there at Columbus. And he started since he was a freshman. And he was really good as a freshman, but he's matured and gotten better each and every season, and I really like that about his game. He's really starting to grow up physically as well. He's always been a tall, lanky kind of kid, but as he adds weight to his frame, he becomes even more impressive. Columbus doesn't play 6A football.
It's a 3A program.
But to me, the 3A brand of ball that they play is really strong. I think as you look at Oklahoma, I think that Columbus could compete with some of the top teams in the state of Oklahoma week in and week out. So don't sleep on the 3A level of ball that Columbus plays, because the teams that they're lining up, for example, one of the games that we had on Texan Live last year, Columbus versus Hitchcock, that game had like 10 D1 prospects in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's not very many games that you go to other states where they have that much of talent, especially whenever you're talking about down at the 3A level. So I think that he's battle tested, and he's starting to mature and grow up kind of before our eyes, and has that coaching pedigree behind him because he's a coach's son. So I really like the get for Oklahoma State. On the flip side, this has got to be tough news for Baylor.
Yeah.
Because he was their first commitment in this class. At least it's not as bad as like when Austin Novosad flipped to Oregon at the 12th hour. There's still plenty of time for Baylor to like circle up and try to figure out what they want to do at that position. Is there some players in state who they could go ahead and target, or should they expand their search nationally? There's plenty of time to find a quarterback in this class. So good news for Dave Miranda and the rest of his staff on that front. Now, what type of quarterback do they want at Baylor? That's remained to be seen, because I saw a tweet come out after Schobel made his decommitment kind of talking about Jake Spavital's history of quarterbacks, and there was a trend there. He really likes athletes at that position. So I would look at that mold of quarterback as I start to think about what are the right fits for the BU offensive scheme, and another maybe like a sneak preview to what's come this season. DeQuan Finn, the transfer from Toledo, is that type of guy.
Yes, he absolutely is. And I wonder if that is going to end up being the kind of guy that they look for as they try to replace a guy like Adam Schobel, who flips from Baylor to Oklahoma State. Before we let Greg Powers go, and by let Greg Powers go, I mean go to a commercial break, I'm going to throw a curveball at you because I've been wanting to ask you about this for a minute.
Okay.
There was another commitment recently that I think made some waves. That is that Air Force picked up a commitment from Grayson Rigdon. Grayson Rigdon, of course, the star player at Benjamin, a six-man football player who is also really good on the basketball court as well. This is a guy who has never lost a game as a six-man player. He has been, he's quite frankly the best player in six-man football. I don't think I'm out of
history of six-man football.
Perhaps even, I mean, we're going to have a GOAT conversation about him. He has never taken, at least at the high school varsity level, an 11-man football snap. He gets an offer from Air Force. He commits to Air Force. I am curious about, from an evaluation perspective, how you go about evaluating a guy like that who we literally just do not have any tape on.
It's tough because, all right, I have some history in the six-man game, just to kind of pull back the curtain a little bit. I covered a six-man player who went to Oklahoma. He played at Dewar, Oklahoma. His name was Ronell Lewis. He signed with OU, so I went and watched him a little bit play the six-man game. I mean, it was like 10, 12 years ago. It was a long time ago. And then my cousin, James Hanna, who played at Flower Mound, he played at Flower Mound Coram Deo before going to Flower Mound. And when they first opened that school up, they were playing six-man ball. So really, I would say like the first six-man tape I evaluated was like a family member. And say, hey, what should you do and how should you approach the recruiting process, try to give my advice the best that I could at that time. But what I'll say is just kind of looking at the big picture, it's hard to evaluate that tape because the field's more wide open. Clearly, Rigdon is the most athletic player on the field, and that's why he's able to do what he does and put up the type of numbers that he does week in and week out and lead his team to state championship games. I almost looked at his basketball tape more than his football tape to see his athleticism and see what type of athlete that he really was overall, because it's tough to project like what position fits him best at the next level, that type of stuff. I mean, I almost think that Rigdon could be a good defensive player. But Air Force does so much creative stuff on the offensive side of the football. They could find a spot for him that he's going to fit in real naturally on the offensive side of the ball. And I think that you see he's more comfortable on that side of the ball as well. So I would rate him as an athlete and say, hey, get him into the program. He's obviously got the winning pedigree that you're looking for. He's been able to do some great things on the Texas high school football scene. Let's get him in, figure out where he fits best after a year in the program, and go from there.
He's Greg Powers. He's our director of recruiting here at Dave Campbell's Texas Football. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. He's fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting, but don't go anywhere because I just like when you're sitting here.
Okay.
We're at Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Hey, Pickle.
Yes.
Are your parents subscribers to Dave Campbell's Texas Football?
Of course they are.
How, like 1 to 5 stars? How do you think they would rate their subscription kind of
17.
experience? A 17 star out of 5? Mm-hmm. I would say it's probably true.
They're intelligent people, so that's what intelligent people would do.
Right, no, absolutely. TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Get the 2024 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands. A year of exclusive online content, including a new episode of Tep and Step, which dropped today, our premium high school football podcast. About an hour of Matt Stepp and I talking a little high school football in the offseason. Then you also get a year of Dave Campbell's Texan Live, our streaming platform. That's right. If you want thousands of Texas high school events, as well as hundreds and hundreds of Texas high school football games in the fall, including hundreds of Texas high school football playoff games live on your device, the only way to do it is TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Makes a great gift as well for Chipper Jones's birthday. Go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, Texas High running back Tradarian Ball, but first a word from these valued partners.
I feel like bustin' loose, bustin' loose. Come on, get on up. Oh yeah, get on up. Bustin' loose when you wanna sing. Bustin' loose, baby, do your thing. Talking about bustin' loose, yeah.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Wing is the largest residential drone delivery provider in the world, delivering to your home in less than 30 minutes. Order using an app just like other popular delivery services, and Wing's automated drone takes care of the rest. It's fast, safe, and sustainable, and it's now delivering to parts of Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. You can learn more at wing.com/TexasFootball. Again, that's wing.com/TexasFootball.
Born and bred in Texas hits a little different, as it should. Texas loves doing business with fellow Texans. VCR Now takes its Texas roots as seriously as its many partnerships with schools and universities around the state. It's also why we're so proud to promote our brand in the pages of the Texas Bible, Dave Campbell's Texas Football, and on the airwaves of Texas Football Today. Driven by producing quality broadcast video, state-of-the-art audio, and LED video scoreboards at affordable prices, VCR Now makes sure to listen to your needs in its athletic department before recommending the next best steps. Building great products is our business, and it's our focus on building meaningful long-term partnerships with our clients that sets us apart. From our 24/7, 365-day help desk, the training lab in our hometown of Red Oak, or our sports marketing business plan that puts money back in the hands of our athletic departments we support, VCR Now is built to last. Reach out to us today at info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW. Again, that's info@vcrnow.com or by calling 855-GO-VCR-NOW.
Back here in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Blanket Fort, I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. And Powers, you caught up with one of the rising star running backs in the class of 2026.
Tradarian Ball is a prospect who I really like. I think he's going to be in the mix for the #1 prospect in the state next year. 35 plus offers. He kind of goes in specifically here more about Texas, Tennessee, and USC. Tennessee and USC were two of his more recent offers, and he's made multiple trips down to Austin. It's kind of ironic that he spoke about USC so much because he reminds me of Reggie Bush. That's the comparison I like to make for Tradarian Ball's game, and I think it's a good one.
Here is Tradarian Ball of Texas High here on Texas Football Today.
Greg Powers, Dave Campbell's Texas Football. I'm out here with the man from Texas High. They call him T-Ball over there, Tradarian Ball. Man, just kind of talk about the fit at Texas High for you, man. It seems like the team's having a lot of success on the field, and I know that you're hunting a state championship ring next season. So how's the team stacking up, and how do you fit within that team?
We're really looking good. We had our little teaser of a practice yesterday. Everything like it was going great, in my opinion.
Yeah. What about your own skill set? What are you bringing to the table? Why are you having all this opportunity? Why have more than 35 colleges extended you an offer?
Really, I just say my craft and playmaking. I'm not just a pure running back. I'm an athlete. I can catch out the backfield. I can block, do whatever you want to, and I can play receiver.
Is there a running back in the league that you look up to? Maybe college football? Is there a guy that you really feel like your game resembles?
Me, I'll say Christian McCaffrey.
What do you like about his game?
Chris McCaffrey, he's really just all-around back, all-purpose. He can catch out the backfield, run the ball. He's fast, and just everything you need in a running back.
I don't know if you know this, but I'm a big believer in your skill set. I think DCTF was the first one to name you a 4-star prospect in their rankings,
Yes,
and then
sir.
all the other ones are following suit a little bit. But before you had a ranking, you were a top talent. You had a lot of offers. What's it like in general, just having all that attention, man? How do you deal with it, and what are some of the things that you do to keep yourself grounded?
Really, I just say stay humble. Really, not put too much on your plate. Not really just get your head blown off into the offers. Just stay who you was before you got them.
Rewind the clock a little bit for me. Who was that first scholarship offer? What was that day like for you and your family?
My first scholarship offer was from UTSA. Coach Traylor called me on a Monday, I think.
East Texas legend.
Yeah, and offered me a scholarship, and I was really happy and excited about it.
Since that time, you were up to what? How many offers now?
I got 35. I got 35 the other day when I got, what did I get? Oh, I actually got Missouri the other day.
Yeah,
Missouri.
Missouri's really coming into Texas really hard.
Yeah.
He hasn't named, it's not like a favorites list or anything out there yet, like a top list of schools, so I'm going to pick some out and ask you about them if that's all right. Maybe I'm wrong with asking about these schools. Maybe I'm right. I'm just going to take a shot in the dark.
No problem.
Going to talk about Texas. In-state offer from the Longhorns. It seems like, like schools like Oklahoma and Oklahoma State have a lot of success in your area
Yes, sir.
of the state. But UT is, I think, a school that's done really good in your recruitment. Why is Texas a potential fit for you?
Really, it's really just a hometown place, really. My dad's a Texas Longhorns fan, been a Longhorns fan for a long time. Texas High has had some Texas Longhorns down the road a long time. Now I know we had Nate Jones there, then we had Derek Brown there. So we got some household names that have been to Texas.
Have you been able to go down there and take a look at the campus? If so, what stood out to you about Austin?
Well, I've been there a lot. I've been there, I think, 5 times, I think. It's just really just the environment, like the people and the energy. Like UT has a lot of energy. Like it's just like their energy just skyrockets.
School that's made a lot of traction in the Lone Star State as of late is Tennessee in the SEC. What do you know about the Vols program, and why is that a school that you like could actually reel you in?
Really, Tennessee, they just a high-powered running offense. I know they've had, I think, runner-up in the SEC for rushing, but that could really change if they land a high-powered and all-around back like me.
USC, Lincoln Riley's offense is known to put running backs into the NFL, and really there's a lot of attention, it seems like, on USC. And you got the Reggie Bush factor, right? Like
Yes,
when I look
sir.
at your tape, I can't help but think a little bit of Reggie Bush, and maybe that's why USC could be a good fit for you. I'm taking a shot there. Is that a school that's in the mix?
Yeah, ain't like really in the mix. Ever since I got the offer from Coach Jones, they've creeped their way up in my top 5.
When it comes down to it, what's something that you feel like you got to have in a college? What can't you live without?
I think you can't live without is just communication. Like you can't go anywhere without communication. You gotta always be on the same level as your coaches.
It's Tradarian Ball, man. Thanks for the time. Good luck as you attack, your last couple years of ball here, and as you move on to the college game, man. Thanks for the time.
No problem.
There is Tradarian Ball, Texas High running back, one of the top prospects in the class of 2026, and a man who will get to live wherever he wants after he graduates.
You think it's fun being Jerry Stanford with this team that he's got right now, with all those talented offensive linemen up front, and then a 1-2 punch with Tradarian Ball and Javari Johnson in the backfield? Hey,
It really does feel like it's one of those like not enough football situations.
right.
And like they're going to be one of those teams that like we're going to look at the end of the year and it's like, wait, they ran the ball how many times? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that is going to be a dangerous offense to
What
watch.
a dream. Like, if you could win games without having to risk throwing the ball, that's a dream scenario.
That
I mean,
is.
I know that they're going to throw the ball.
They'll throw
at
the ball
Texas
plenty.
High.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to
Yes.
throw the ball plenty, but man, that'd be cool.
It is pretty wild. So Tradarian Ball, a big part of why we're pretty high on Texas High heading into 2024 and a prospect to know moving forward. Let's go over to Gizmo for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Coming up at 2 o'clock today, wherever you're watching this.
Yeah.
ROF, our college folks, Ishmael Johnson, Carter Yates, Mallory Hartley, will dive into whatever college stuff they have on their agenda. a riveting endorsement.
I think they're doing some NFL draft preview.
Oh, nice.
I think there's going
That's
to be
notable.
some NFL draft stuff. So there's a lot of portal news right now.
Yeah, there is.
A lot of portal, including, he's our mountain.
Yes.
But you saw that the mountain,
Oh, transferring.
Bryce Foster is in the portal.
How about that?
Be interesting to see where he goes. I mean, he was out of the gate strong his freshman year, and then
His
dealt with
freshman
some
year was so
injury,
good.
dealt some injuries since then. Be interesting to see if he can
That's
get
gonna
his
be a
career
good
back
pickup.
on track.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to get him, and they'll be happy they have him.
Well,
Anyway.
wherever you're watching this, ROF, 2 o'clock.
Be great. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Also on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Texas High running back Tradarian Ball for being our guest. For Greg Powers and Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please meet your Player of the Year trophy. We will see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.